sorry. I hope everybody's well. Sorry for the slight delay. Unfortunately, we had a bit of a problem when we were changing the vehicles. I lost one of the nuts, so we had to go and try and find another one quickly. But for those of you who don't know me, my name's Tara, and I have Patrick on camera with me this evening. Unfortunately, you can't say hi. There's no microphone in the back there, so I'll be saying hello to everybody from him. I'm sure you'll be able to hear him laughing later. But we also have Caroline in final control this evening, so if you have any questions, feel free to send them through to final control at safari.tv, and you should be able to get them answered as we're driving. And with this being 100% live from the African bush, you should be able to get them answered in real time.
We are 20 minutes ETA.
So I was just trying to find out from Mark if there was anything that had happened. Apparently Karula had a kill somewhere up towards Sydney's dam and lost it to a hyena. Apparently one of the boys was with her. So we're going to just make our way up Gallego shortcut and onto Buffalo's Hook Dam. Maybe see if there's something around there, and from there we'll see what time it is and see where else we can go. I thought there was a few questions coming through. Maybe I was mistaken. Okay, Patty, welcome on board. I don't know if you're still with us or not, but I think a question came through on Mark's drive, so if you are watching, hopefully be able to answer it for you as well. You'd like to know what the difference is between a feral cat and an African wildcat. True, African wildcats have black pads instead of pink pads. That's one difference that sets them apart from feral cats. All their pads will be black. And also the russet or rusty colour ears and on their legs is also very, very characteristic of the African wildcat. The feral cats, you may have a crossbreed in there, but I say that's the sort of diagnostic features of an African wildcat, is the russet ears and the legs and the black pads. And they generally are a grey body colour, maybe with one or two black markings on the legs as well, but so definitely the ears and the legs are the things to look out for. And unfortunately we do have feral cats. I haven't really seen any here in SAST. Some of the reserves where people were allowed to have cats, and they get bred with African wildcats, so you do get crossbreeds. But in a place like Sabi Sands you get pure breeds, and there is one that lives around Quarantine. I have seen it a couple of times now, so I might see if we can head around there a little bit later, see if it's about, along with the genet that lives there, and obviously we saw the white-tailed mongoose that lived there as well. Listening out for any hyenas that might be calling. I haven't heard them this evening. I haven't heard any lions this evening either, but you never know, we might be lucky. Welcome on board, Ellen. And you'd like to know what a bush baby is. Apparently there was one seen towards the end of the drive, and you're not too sure what it is. It's actually a small primate. It's a very primitive primate, and they're not a cat or a dog species. It's fairly similar to an ii from I think it's Asia. The ii is from one of the islands around there, or some of the islands. They have pretty large eyes and they shine back quite nicely with an orange colour. That's what we look for in the spotlight. Very, very bright. Quite small. We do have the lesser Gallego or bush baby, and then you get the thick-tailed bush baby, or Gallego is their new name. And they're a little bit bigger than the lesser bush baby. Lesser bush babies are probably about that big. The reason why they're called a bush baby is that they call, their sounds like a baby actually crying. It's very, very loud. I've heard it a couple of times and it still throws me when I hear it. I keep thinking, what on earth is that? And then it dawns on me it's actually the bush babies calling. Venus is still slowly setting this evening. It's just dipping below the tree line now. Still the evening star. Remember, for 8 months she's going to be the evening star. 2 months we don't usually see her, and then she goes into her morning star for 8 months. And you do see the phases like the moon on her. It can be quite pretty if you look through binoculars. And at the moment Jupiter is actually very high, and apparently Uranus should be able to be viewed with Jupiter. We'll definitely be looking at that on morning drive in the next couple of days, see if we can see Jupiter. Possibly in Uranus, apparently you can see it through binoculars. Great Jupiter, about half a degree from Jupiter, obviously from where we are. Real time or real space, they're nowhere near each other. Thank you very much, Dave. I had a fuzzy memory on the ii. You're saying it's found in Madagascar. I knew it was one of the islands, I just couldn't remember where. So the ii in Madagascar is quite large eyes, but it's got a very long finger, a very long fingernail on the end of it for taking out insects from the Oh, got a spotted eagle owl. Unfortunately these owls keep getting run over by cars. They sit in the middle of the road, sitting just on top of the sign. There we go, you got it just to the right, there we go. The spotted eagle owl is about a medium-sized owl. I think it's probably about 50 centimeters, 40-50 centimeters, something like that. You can see the retina actually reflecting back all the light from our infrared camera, infrared light. And owls have quite a lot more receptors in the eyes than we do. Around 800,000 more receptors in the eyes. We have about 200,000. And again, this type of owl does have a yellow-orange iris. So it looks more yellow to me, but it just obviously depends on what light it's in. But it just indicates that they could be active before the sunset, or just before or just after the sunrise. So it's not a strict rule, but it does generally help to determine when the owls can be active. Generally dark irised owls tend to be active more during the night. If you think about a barn owl, very, very dark eye. Although the marsh owl has been known to be active after sunrise. And that also has a very dark eye. The pearl-spotted owlet tends to be active before sunset. I've seen the spotted eagle owls active just before sunset.
It's gone.
Has it gone?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, there he is. Just flew to another sign. And some owls will actually have a little flap of skin covered with feathers, and they can actually close off their ear if there's too much sound. So it actually muffles the sound, especially during the day.
Too far.
Yeah, a little bit too far. Well, that's the first sighting of a spotted eagle owl for me on drive. I have seen them a couple of times on my way to Bush Lodge. So I have known that they've been in the area, but it's the first time on drive. Sorry?